Good morning, Tribal Jazzman Scholar. I talked in a previous post about being struck by the mystery of nature, and I wanted to say that there are so many things within the natural world which present us with really unfathomable mystery, and the one I wanted to mention right now was crystals, but in particular, not to get too abstract or too new agey, because the word crystals is kind of loaded, snowflake. A snowflake is essentially a water crystal. And as you probably know, snowflakes are very unique. You don't see two snowflakes that look the same. You actually can't see the snowflake very well anyway. It's so small, about a half an inch average snowflake. Snowflake has 6 leaves, and each leaf is symmetrical with the other half. What you have to know is that the crystallization forms as unfrozen water molecules attach themselves to the growing snowflake. And so if you were to just take one of those symmetrical leaves, and by symmetrical I mean the 2 sides of each leaf of the 6 leaves are identical to each other, and then they're identical to every other leaf, and you were to imagine a water molecule landing on one edge of that leaf, that freezing crystalline structure, and then it has to lock itself into place, in the right place, to continue to grow the crystal. And directly opposite, another water molecule is landing on an opposite symmetrical edge, and it's locking itself to the same crystallizing pattern. And you have to ask yourself, well, what is the intelligence of the water molecule that it knows how to affix itself to the crystal so that it's symmetrical with the other water molecules? And what's quite fascinating and hard to explain is that a water molecule is approximately 30 to the negative 10 meters in size. It's extremely small, such that the distance between these water molecules, if you were to enlarge them, say to the size of a Homo sapien, myself, these water molecules would be thousands of miles apart from each other. So what is the mechanism of communication that they can actually, and what would be the cognitive place with which communication would happen, that these water molecules land upon this crystalline structure and align themselves with each other such that the crystal has this symmetry? We absolutely have no idea. It's quite a mystery. It's among the many in the natural world. And I just wanted to put that out there. I have some ideas about how that happens, and they're not my ideas. And if you're curious and you want to know, you should look at the theories of causative formation and morphic resonance and morphic field theory, Rupert Sheldrake. But he wrote a book, The New Science of Life, in 1981, and he rewrote it as morphic resonance, the theory of causative formation, in the subsequent editions. But many of the mysteries of the physical world are what he seeks to explain in his theories. Because we do still live in a deterministic world, a materialistic world, in which the belief system of most biologists is that this entire organism that is speaking to you through this iPhone is just a machine, and that every molecule and cell and atom that are cooperating are doing so entirely because of a DNA message that was sent to the body as it was growing, or somehow. We still don't even really know how protein molecules and hemoglobin cells, and we don't really understand how our limited genome information, genetic information, can dictate the complexity of this form. It's still one of the many mysteries. But I thought that the crystal served as the best example of, or one of the best examples of, something that we can all understand, snowflake. If you look at a picture of a snowflake and you ask yourselves, how does a water molecule land upon one of the leaves and then align itself in its freezing, line up so perfectly that it creates a crystalline structure that is symmetrical with its other leaf and with all the other 6 leaves? It's an utter mystery. And it's cool to live in a world full of mystery. And with that, I will sign off. Tribal Jazzman Scholar, thanks for joining me.